Praline is really creeping up there. Vanilla, watch your back. What's up, my cherry bombs? Welcome back to another video. On today's video, I'm going to be sharing some fragrances that has the note of praline. Praline is such a good note. Who don't like sweet fragrances? So on Fragrantica, it says praline is a modern synthetic accord with a soft but intense sweet lactonic balsamic fragrance. So praline is a dessert, of course, but when it's used in fragrance, it adds a little bit more sweetness. And today I'm going to be sharing some fragrances that has the note of praline that I'm really loving. It's in no particular order. We're just gonna get right into it. The first fragrance that has the note of praline is one from Gurrlll, and I feel like Gurrlll uses praline really well in their fragrances. And in this fragrance, it has that sweetness, and I can actually detect the praline because praline and sugar and vanilla all smells different. And all of those notes are used to add sweetness in fragrances, of course, and tonka bean as well. But when it's praline, it just has this scent that is super crowd pleasing. And this specific fragrance is from Gurrlll, and it is Eau Croisière 2020. Now, as you guys can see, your girl love this fragrance, but let me go ahead and spray it because I want to revisit this because I haven't sprayed it in a long time. Yeah, y'all. Oh man, this is some good stuff. Now you get the praline in this, and the praline is super sweet, but it's not too sweet only because it has fig in here, and then it has all other exotic tropical notes to make it what it is, which is a tropical fragrance. But this is one that you can definitely wear in the springtime, the fall time, the winter time, the summertime. I enjoy this in the spring and the summer, but y'all, dang, I didn't realize how good this was until I just sprayed it again. Oh my gosh, I love this right here. This is one that whenever I spray it on, it don't matter. My husband love it. And you guys know, scientifically speaking, sweet fragrances are fragrances notes. Y'all already know, scientifically speaking, men are more attracted to sweeter fragrances, and this one is definitely on the sweet side, and every single time I wear it, my husband really loves it. And it's perfect too. It's long lasting, and the praline note in this is very, I'm not gonna say it's prominent, but it's there. You can smell it throughout the whole fragrance. If you like praline, or if you're getting into fragrances and you want to focus on some notes and you see the note of praline, this one has a really nice praline note that is not too sweet. It's kind of more of a fresher sweet praline, and I really love it. So if you are looking for praline fragrances, or you like praline, I would highly recommend this one from Gurrlll. Oh my gosh, you could find it on FragranceNet on the discounters. It's kind of hard to find it in store. Sometimes you'll probably see it at Ulta, but it's very rare. This is one that has a nice praline note, and y'all, I love it. This next one is one that has a beautiful, beautiful praline note as well, and this one is also from Gurrlll. Now this one came out, I think, in 2021, and it is Gurrll's Angel Eye Star. Oof. All right, so now this one has notes of coconut, pineapple, and praline, of course, and all these other beautiful notes. But to my nose, the pineapple is only there for like 5 minutes, y'all, and then you get the coconut, and then you get that angel DNA. The praline in this is always in the background as well. It's not prominent in this fragrance, but it is there to ground it. It wasn't one that lasted crazy long on the skin for me, on bare skin, but I know how to make fragrances last long, so I didn't have that issue with this one. But if you're that type of person that is always on the go and you just need a fragrance to last, then this one is not it, because you would have to go that extra mile to make it last. But outside of that, y'all, the praline note in this is beautiful. I feel like this one and Eau Croisière are perfect entry-level praline fragrance notes. I love praline. I love anything that's sweet, to be honest with you guys. I don't like anything that's sickly sweet, but praline is really nice, and anything that I have with praline notes in it is amazing. The next fragrance is one that is either you love it or you don't. It is a celebrity fragrance. And this one, when it came out, it stopped everybody at their tracks. Everyone loved it. Everybody wanted to smell like this. Everyone was smelling like this, men and women. And it was with reason. It's good. And it is Ariana Grande Cloud. Now, as you guys can see, this is actually my third bottle. So you know I like this one. Now, this is a fragrance that has the note of praline, but it also has other sugar type of notes such as cotton candy, such as vanilla. So when you're talking about a sweet fragrance, then this one is it. This has the praline, and honestly, the praline in this one is a little bit more prominent than the other two fragrances that I did share with you guys. And when I tell y'all, this fragrance is sweet. It is sweet, but it's not sickly sweet, but it does smell like burnt sugar, almost like if you took the cotton candy and you put some fire on it, or like marshmallows and you're burning it on top of a fire. This is what that smells like. It's so fluffy and just so playful, but at the same time sweet and delicious and compliment getting. I remember I put this on just so I can go pick up some balloons, my 100K balloons, and the lady that point me to the right direction to go get the confetti bombs or cannons. When I got to the register, she was like, "What are you wearing? It smells so good." And I said, "It's Cloud." And she said, "Oh my God, it's good. It's good." And I'm like, "Yeah." She was like, "Cloud is the one with the cloud." She asked the question and then she answered it by herself. She was like, "Girl, don't mind me. Yeah, it's the one with the cloud." I'm like, "Yeah, from Ariana Grande." She was like, "Wow, you rock it very well." And all I did was just spray it. But the praline note in this is prominent. Like, a lot of people don't realize it. They probably think that it's like a cotton candy vibe, but no, it's the praline, and the praline is very sweet. Oh my gosh, Cloud is one that can get it all the time now. I remember when I first smelled it, I thought it smelled like Baccarat. It has the nuances in the air, but you can definitely tell the difference between Baccarat and this. They're completely different, even though the same perfumer made them, but that's neither here or there. This is a compliment getter. Honestly, you will stop everyone. My mom wears this to work, and every couple months she just asks me to repurchase another one because she's always getting compliments. It's literally her signature scent at work, and I think it's so sexy, and it's so good for what it is. $65, you really can't beat that. Now let's get into the dark and heavy fragrances. It's a common fragrance in the fragrance community, and it is Angel Shares. Y'all, Angel Shares has notes of cinnamon, apple, is vanilla, praline, okay? And a lot of people don't know that it's the praline. They just think that it smells good, and they just think that it's just sweet, but it's the praline in this. And praline makes fragrances smell very gourmand. And without the praline note in this, I don't think this fragrance will be on point, because the praline is one of those base notes, but without a base, without a foundation, you don't have anything, right? You need that support, and the praline is definitely that support in this fragrance. Wow, how gorgeous is this? Now, the praline is not the prominent note, like I said, but it's definitely present, and it's there throughout the whole fragrance. You guys, if you didn't know, praline is that girl, okay? Praline is that girl, and in this fragrance, it's good. Like, some people actually say that this is a little bit too sweet. If you're not into sweet, definitely test this out, because it is on the sweeter side of things, but it's not the sweetest fragrance I've smelled. It's far from the sweetest fragrance I've smelled, for sure. I love it. I love it. I can't really say much about it because you guys already know how Angel Shares perform. You guys know how big it is in the fragrance community. It is a compliment getter. Whenever you wear this, people will stop you and say, "Hello, what are you wearing?" But I just wanted to point out that that sweetness that you're getting is probably the praline. It's the next fragrance with a prominent, the next fragrance that has praline in it is one that I'm in love with. And I realized that the fragrance, then I realized that the praline is very prominent in this fragrance, because I want to say it's either in the top or in the mid. Y'all, if you like this fragrance, then you know that you like praline, because praline is definitely the star in this fragrance, and the florals are literally in the background, and it is La Nuit Trésor. It is so sexy, you guys. And this one has the note of praline, and when I tell y'all, the first thing I smelled when I sprayed this fragrance was the praline note. Oh my gosh, like, you get the freshness at the top, but then instantly the praline comes in. And if you're not like someone that like those sweet, dense, decadent fragrance notes, then you're not gonna like this one, because it is definitely sweet. Now, the La Folie, I like it, but I realized why I still prefer this one, because it has that praline note, and the La Folie does not have the praline note. And that right there was literally the difference between both. And I like this one. I love this one because it has that sweetness, and it's crowd pleasing. So that's why most people use it in fragrances, because it is crowd pleasing. So if you have La Nuit Trésor, take a sniff with me, because that praline note is very prominent. And I think this also has vanilla, so that's why it's super, super sweet. It just makes it very warm and just like almost edible. Like for me, praline is very cozy at the same time. It's not just sweet, rich and cozy. I love it. So definitely check this one out. It is discontinued, but you can still find it on the discounter sites. But I do recommend this one specifically for someone that's looking for their next date night scent or their next signature scent for the fall and winter time. This is perfect. It's a beautiful gourmand, fruity floral. This next one is one that America loves. Actually, the whole world love. It is a fragrance that is heavy on the praline and heavy on the orange blossom. It is so sexy. It is a signature scent around all the world. Like everyone knows this fragrance. If you didn't own it, you probably know someone that did, and it is La Vie est Belle. What? This is iconic. This is classic. This is a legend in the fragrance community. When you walk into Macy's, this is what you're smelling. You're either smelling Chanel or this. And those people that wear this, I applaud you because you smell good. Like this is a orange blossom, patchouli, praline, vanilla fragrance. Now this right here has the note of praline. And if you ever thought that La Vie est Belle was too sweet, it's the praline. It's the praline that makes it like a gourmand. And the praline in this is very prominent, but the orange blossom is literally overpowering it. Now the praline in this specific fragrance as well is slightly a little bit more on the synthetic, you know, fruity la side. Whereas in the other fragrances, they were more richer. And I'm not mad at it because I actually still like it. But if you ever felt like this fragrance gave you a headache, it's because it's a little bit more on the synthetic side. It's not really deep and refined, but this fragrance is loved around the whole world for a reason. This next fragrance is one that I don't really talk about. I did feature it in my last 2 videos, but outside of those, I really haven't talked about it recently. But y'all, this has a beautiful praline note in it, and it's so sweet and it is so powdery. It's so good. And this is one of those fragrances that uses praline for like just to balance things out. It's not the prominent note in it, but it is good, and it is. Sensual Instinct by Montal. Now at the top of this fragrance, you have roasted coffee. And roasted coffee for me, you gotta smell good, okay? Because I love coffee. Everybody knows that I love coffee. I'm not gonna say I smell it. If it's there, it's probably there in the background. It's probably super light, but I don't smell that. I don't, but I do smell the praline though. And the praline comes in when in the dry down because it has like a underlying sweetness in this fragrance, but it's also powdery and it's also slightly medicinal. But I like it. It's crowd pleasing, but when you spraying it or you smell it from the can, you're just probably gonna be like, okay, it's all right. But when I wear it or when somebody else wears it around you, you're gonna be like, ma'am, this smells so good. What are you wearing? And then I'm gonna tell you Sensual Instinct, but honestly, if you're new to praline, then this one would be a really good one because it is not heavy like the other fragrances. Wow. When I smelled this, I was like, this smells so familiar. And then when I went to look at the notes, I was like, okay, it's the praline note in this. Outside of that, y'all, this is a sexy fragrance. It's long lasting. Anything from Montal is super long lasting. You will get compliments, and this is very unique. I love this, and it has that Montal DNA. So praline is almost like the new vanilla for me. Honestly, it is really good. I didn't realize how much I love praline until I really dug deeper into it. I love it. Now, vanilla is always going to be that bae. It's always going to be that girl for me. Always. But praline is really creeping up there. Vanilla, watch your back. This next fragrance is what introduced me to the note of praline. And I'm going to tell you how. I did have Cloud before I got this fragrance, and I had La Vie est Belle before I had this fragrance. But I never knew what praline really smelled like, or how to detect it in a fragrance until I got this specific one. And it is Oud Bouquet. Come on now, unless you're new, you already know I love Oud Bouquet. It has spicy notes. It has vanilla, rose, oud, and praline. What? Now, this right here, I do not need to spray that much, y'all. This is so good. It is the most unique fragrance that I have in my collection. Well, one of the most uniques that I have in my collection, and it has a prominent praline note, and I was just trying to figure out, like, why is this so sweet? Because I've never smelled anything that has vanilla that is this sweet and that's this rich, the praline note. And ever since then, I've been looking for fragrances that has praline notes in it, and I know that if it has praline, I would like it as far as sweetness goes. And y'all, Oud Bouquet is that girl. That juice is so dark and so rich. Y'all, the praline in this is so good. Now, if you like oud, or if you're new to oud, I feel like this is a perfect entry-level oud fragrance, or oud mood. So if you don't like oud mood, then definitely don't get Oud Bouquet, because Oud mood is a dupe for Oud Bouquet. The only thing is Oud mood has a prominent caramel note, and this one has the prominent rose and praline note. So that's where the differences are. But this right here, out of all my oud fragrances, has got to be one of my favorites. My second would be Oud Silk Mood, and then my third would be Oud Satin Mood. Wow, Oud Bouquet. Just fresh roses drizzled in praline. What? I love it. So if you're looking for a beautiful praline fragrance, then this one is it. Definitely try them. I will link everything in the description box below. I hope you guys enjoyed. If y'all found value in this video, definitely hit that like button so YouTube knows that you enjoy what's going on here, okay? And then that way they can push me out to more cherry bombs like you guys. So until we see each other again, please, please, please stay safe and keep on smelling fragrances. Bye, cherry bombs. Bye.